Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you for checking into our YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the different chain guide options from TM Designworks. If your chain guide is worn out, whether it's just a wear pad or maybe you've damaged yours and you want to upgrade to a new one that's going to be more durable, last you longer, TM Design is a really good option. I would probably say that in this category, these guys are the industry leader. If you look at any factory, professional off-road teams, whether it's even for motocross, works racing, GNCC, you're gonna see a lot of the top guys using TM Designworks. Now, what makes their chain guides and their rollers and their sliders so unique is the type of plastic that they're using. It's a much harder, much more durable plastic than just your OEM chain slider. In fact, they say that this is gonna last 2 to 3 times longer, guaranteed, than the stock chain guide that came on your dirt bike. Now, a lot of bikes, you can just replace the wear pad, but I'll talk about why you might want to just go ahead and replace and upgrade the entire chain guide. But also what's unique to that is the plastic that they're using is actually, it's a very hard plastic, and it actually has additives that are infused in with the TPE coating just to reduce as much friction as possible. So less friction you have with the plastic, with the chain guide, the less drag you're gonna have, and the better your bike is going to roll. And so that's why these are so popular. Another cool thing about this too is that most chain guides that come on bike stock are gonna be made from aluminum. And a lot of times when you hit those, you can bend them, and sometimes they break the tabs that you have on your motorcycle. But with these, they have a memory to them. So they're actually designed where they'll flex and bend a little bit, but they'll return back to their regular shape. So they're not gonna bend or break nearly as easily as a stock chain guide would. Now, that being said, when it comes to these, there's actually a lot of different options from TM Designworks, and that's what we want to do today, is just show you what options there are to help you know what's the difference between them and which one you might want to pick up. So when it comes to these, there's 3 different options, and there's something I need to clarify as well. There's a Factory 1 edition, a Factory 2 edition, and they have an SX version. Now, here's where I need to clarify. Depending on what bike you have, and when you look at our website, for some bikes, you might have all 3 options. For some bikes, you might only have 2 options. So just there's different options depending on what bike you have. But for example, right here in front of me, I've got 3 different options for the same Honda dirt bike. This is for a CRF 450R. You've got a Factory 1, Factory 2, and the SX. So I'm just gonna talk about what's different between these so you know exactly what you're getting. Let's start out with the Factory Edition 1 and the Factory Edition 2. So these are built specifically for off-road riding. And when you look at them, you can see the Factory Edition 2, it's a little bit larger, but here's really the main difference between these two, is that the Factory Edition 2, you see how you have the wear pad right here? This wear pad is replaceable. So when that wears out, again, it's gonna last a lot longer than the stock wear pad on your bike, but when that wears out, you can replace it. When you have the Factory Edition 1, the wear pad is not replaceable. So it is going to be a little bit less money for the Factory Edition 1, but you're not going to get that replaceable wear pad. So that's really the main difference between the two. You can also notice too, just looking at the Factory Edition 2, they just use more plastic in all areas, so it's a little bit thicker. You could argue it's going to be a little bit stronger, but really the main benefit is you're getting that replaceable wear pad. And then when you jump to the SX version, so this is going to be for your motocross and supercross riders. And here's why they call it the SX version. When you compare this even to the Factory Edition 1, you notice that it's just slimmer. And when I put these two side by side, you can see it actually sits up a little bit higher, so closer to the swing arm. And you can see on the side here, they've shaved away as much material as they could to do 2 things. One, lighten it up. So for guys that are trying to save weight, but you want to add durability, SX version is going to be great, but also they just want to tighten this thing up, get as close to the bike as possible, just to offer a little bit more clearance when you're going through ruts and things like that. So those are the 3 options. The Factory Edition 2, the creme de la creme, you got the replaceable wear pad. Factory Edition 1, still awesome durability, it's just not replaceable. The SX model, low profile, they're trying to shave off as much weight in areas that they can to give you more clearance as well. And that's the difference between the 3. Now, like I said, depending on what bike you have, for example, for KTMs, they've got different colorways. There's an orange here. They've got a black one for KTMs, but they don't have a Factory Edition 1. They just have the Factory Edition 2 and the SX version. So just something to keep in mind. But like I said earlier, if the time has come to replace your chain guide, or maybe just the wear pad is worn out, but you want to upgrade the entire unit, TM Designworks is a really good option to go with. Like I said, you can buy just the chain guides. A lot of times you can buy kits that will come with chain rollers or chain sliders as well. So if you want to get everything replaced, which I think is a great idea because I don't think enough people check their chain sliders or their rollers often enough. I've worn through one personally, got to my swing arm, I regretted it, so don't let that happen to you. These are a great upgrade, but if you have questions or comments, if you've had one of these, we'd love to hear your feedback. So what's been your experience? Last thing I will say is the only thing that I noticed, because I've ran one of these before, and you're probably gonna hear this from other riders, that compared to stock, they are a little bit noisier. So if you put one of these on and you feel like your chain's making a lot of noise, it's just because they're using a much harder plastic. So yes, in turn, one of the drawbacks is it is a little bit noisier, but from what I've experienced and from other riders, it quiets down a little bit as it starts to break in. So just a couple things to remember. To grab yours today, click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. We ship for free over 75 bucks. If you like this video, you want to see more like it, get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and that will keep you up to date. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.